Hey guys, Jared here. Just finished Frankenstein, and meh, not bad, not great. Well, how do I start? This movie is decent, but not something phenomenal. All in all, it's not a great flick, but it's not bad. Here's the basic premise. The one thing I like about there's a lot of things I like about this movie. There's certain things I dislike about this movie. I could nitpick, but I'm not going to. Firstly, I find it kind of weird that it starts off, not entirely. It just skims through most of the Frankenstein story. Frankenstein is made. He kills. His master tries killing him, so he kills his master's wife. Or his maker's wife, Doctor Frankenstein's wife. Uh, and that just kind of gets skimmed over. Then, then his creator dies trying to hunt him down, and he buries him. Now that's all in all. I think that's actually pretty decent. The one thing I don't like is that how everything seems to be in English. Like he knows English rudimentary. His master speaks it. Frankenstein, it should be German, and I know that's not the point of a movie. It's to entertain us, but it's just one of my little quirks. I mean, that's what I thought it should. That's not to say that there's anything wrong against that. Then it kind of just skims over a bunch of stuff. Then he's attacked by demons. I thought that was interesting. I was like, okay, I can take part in this. I'm all for like demons. Then the demons are fighting gargoyles. Now that was a twist. Like going into this, I thought it was angels and demons. No, it's gargoyles and demons, which personally I find that very interesting, especially that the gargoyles were created by the archangel Michael, I believe, something like that. And I was like, huh, I can stand behind that. That is a unique idea that I've never seen done before. And well, this movie does fall prey to a lot of classic cliches. It does have it's pretty flowing narrative. Now, the one thing that I really kind of was like meh about was like there's scenes where you could tell kind of where they were going, but at the same time you couldn't, which I thought was brilliant. The fact that for once I actually saw like you couldn't quite see where they were going, but you could you knew where the end was. You didn't know how you were going to get there. That was how this movie was. You knew what the end was going to be. He's going to kill the bad guy, save the girl, yada yada yada, happy ending. But it kind of the thing is it had that more. It definitely had a much more flexible structure, I guess. Like when there's a scene where he busts into the place, and I'm like, there's gonna be two ways this ends. Which way are they gonna choose? Okay, he gets away. He's gonna get caught or he gets away. Like it basically just was them fighting over Frankenstein, the book, creating a demon army. Well, you knew that they were gonna try and create a demon army with all the corpses and use Frankenstein like that. The one of my habit or things is the gargoyle says only soulless creatures can kill a gargoyle. Well, Frankenstein later on, spoiler alert, kills a gargoyle. But then when he's tried to possess by a demon, the demon says only a soulless person can be possessed. There's a lot of demons in this movie, so I was wondering, are they all soulless, or did they sell their souls for something, or they never really quite explain over that. They just brush over it, which I'm not angry at, but I'm not like it's just kind of skimmed over, which kind of annoyed me. And then the one other thing that really really annoys me, this is more just a personal pet peeve, is the fact that they freaking paint the pentagram on their heads, which I am not like an expert on theology, but a personal thing is pentagrams were not intentionally evil. Pentagrams are like the thing that for some reason I don't know where it comes from, but a pentagram has somehow become the symbol of Satan, and it's not really. I mean, there's satanic circles and yada 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 and all this other stuff you can throw on it. But a pentagram, originally in my mind, anyways, uh, was used by King Solomon to incarcerate demons. If I'm not entirely sure on that, but I am pretty sure. Like, for me, that really annoyed me a lot. It's not just with this movie. A lot of movies use the pentagram as the demon symbol or the devil, or I don't know. I feel like it's not, but that's a personal thing. Like, it's really stupid that, especially like the upside down crosses, are supposed to be like the satanic cross. It's not. It's the cross of Saint John. Okay, the satanic cross is much more like fancy. I don't know how to explain it. It's like with the little 8. And the other thing about this movie that speaking of that, it's just this theological symbolism. Anyways, the other thing about this movie is, while I do enjoy it, another thing that kind of bothers me was how easy it is to make blessed weapons. Supposedly, to make a blessed weapon, you just have to put the gargoyle mark, which is just this cross with crosses on it, which I thought was kind of funny. And, I thought it was interesting, but it seemed really simple. Like, you could freaking just stamp that mark on cars, and if a car, like, all the cars on the world hit a demon, oh, that demon's dead, it would burst into flames. And it didn't really hide the fact that there's demons. There's flame and flying gargoyles. Wouldn't people notice that? I just feel that. And this movie had a very underworld-ish tone. Like, it felt paced. I'm not sure if it was directed by the same guy who did Underworld. Like, Underworld and Legion and, I don't know. It felt very paced like that. It's not paced. Like, the color scheme and just the general concept of there's a war between two sides and this guy's got to pick a side between good and evil. Well, the difference is he doesn't start off on any side. He has no idea about this. He just starts off as this being. And he roams around. I like it. I also like the fact that he uses, like, these clubs, I guess, and just bashes demons. It's kind of cool. Like, the effects in this movie are phenomenal, except for maybe, like, 2 or 3 moments. I mean, but they're still pretty cool. I definitely like when they do the gargoyle sight, like what it looks like when you see from a flying gargoyle's point of view. I thought that was interesting. Great? No. Good? Yes. This movie is I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Not something that's hugely amazing, but not something that's totally to be scoffed at. I mean, I've seen a lot worse movies. Definitely a good try. And I think he's not Adam Frankenstein. I definitely like that idea that they named him after the first man. But I do enjoy this movie. It's the only other thing is they kind of don't show him being made much, which is kind of interesting. And the other thing I want to call bullshit on is that Dr. Frankenstein used electric eels to charge him. And the scientist lady, who is just there pretty much to be his love interest, you kind of, like, I want to really call bullshit. I don't think you could charge a human to be alive with electric eels. Also, if they're supposedly Dr. Frankenstein's in the middle of Germany, where the fuck did he get electric eels? Aren't those out in, like, the ocean? Did he just have them imported? And in 1783, I don't think they were importing eels. That's just a little thing. Like, it's bothering me. The more I think about it, it's kind of bothering me. This movie's good for the action. If you just watch it and you watch the action, it's got a nice flowing narrative that kind of just ties into the story. I like that. It was good. Not mind bending, but it did have its definitely its own unique quality in the fact that it took its own way with things. I definitely like the idea of monsters and, like, demons, a monster, and gargoyle angels. I kind of like that. Like, that whole concept. Definitely a good movie. Not a great movie, but worth a watch. This is J-Road, License Plate Jacket Radio. I hope I've informed you. I am signing off.